Hello everyone, just give me a second to add the message here in the screen. Perfect, we are pre-recording the video for YouTube in Instagram Live. Cancer full moon. What we can say about it, we have the Cancer full moon in the MOONday, that is the next Monday, but also we have Mercury Retrograde. So let me pre-record the video here so you can see the whole video on my YouTube channel like all the past years. Cancer, full moon, Mercury retrograde. Cancer. Cancer is this beautiful constellation in the north of the sky. Is made with 5 main stars. These 5 main stars represent the 5 aspects of Cancer in the evolution of history. We have the Akkadian Cancer, the Mesopotamian, the Egyptian, the Greek, and the Romanian. Romanian or Italian, depending of the culture and the age of history that you do decide to read. Cancer is everything about family and is everything about feel overprotect. If you reanalyze the myth of Cancer in history, how this myth evolved, it's beautiful because always represent the home, always represent the shield and protection. For example, for Mesopotamians, Cancer was a crab. For Egyptians was this, I forget how they call this insect in English, scarab was for Egyptians. For Mesopotamians, the constellation was a crab, was actually, I don't remember in this moment either the sign, was a turtle. It always represents something, some kind of creature that, it's trying to go forward, but it's always protected, always have a shield integrate in the skin, integrate in the bones, integrate in the body. This evolved from the turtle, from the scarab to the crab. It's always that kind of creatures. The myth that we know about Cancer is related with Juno, the Italian goddess, or Hera, the Greek goddess. She's trying to fight against Heracles or Hercules, and in the fight of him against this amazing creature that is a serpent with many heads, Hera sent Cancer, this little crab that moves around the air and below the air and trying to beat the feet of Heracles. Heracles is the son of Zeus, so he just stand up the crab and kill him. Hera anyway recognized the power of the creature. This little crab was so brave that go in the fight to protect the dignity of the goddess. So she put the crab in the sky. That's Cancer. And Cancer is about protection. It's about feeling safe. It's about safety. It's about the shield that we always have with us. For that reason, it's integrated with the family. If you look the sign of Cancer in astronomy, it's in the north. It's always looking for the north, and that's beautiful because he's always protected. He always moves forward or very, very slow, like a turtle, like was for the Mesopotamians. But anyway, don't care which is the obstacle in his path. He's trying to move forward, even if the crab need to move in different directions. From one side to another, not directly forward, but he's trying to go in a way of that direction, trying to take the wave, but also always stay protected. If he knows that going in that direction, he will be safe, he will be protected, don't care how much time extra this takes for him, he will do it anyway. Cancer is about family, right? So it's a very nice moment to approach the things that we learn from our family and those things that we keep with us in the process that we are evolving, that we are moving forward. Which are the teachings from my family that I keep with myself, that I know that these teachings are valuable for me, but also which teachings or learning in the process to be with my family is something that I don't need more, that I accept. Okay, I have this experience with my family, I have this discussion with my mom, I have this talk with my father or with my sisters, and I learn in the process of my personal life that this teaching is not made for me. It's a teaching for them, it's their experience, but I don't really need this lesson in my life, so I take this knowledge and I put away. I take these traumas, these fears that belongs to them, and I put away. And I continue moving forward. using all the other information that I decide to choose from all the rainbow of options, information, and wisdom that they give to me. I choose which of those are able for me, which of those are really valuable for me, make me feel nurtured, make me feel strong, make me feel safe, right? That is what Cancer does. And this is the season of the full moon in Cancer. If we have, for one side, the full moon in Cancer, this means that we are in opposition to the opposite sign, that is Capricorn, and Capricorn is in this moment, the sun is in Capricorn. So the moon is in Cancer, protection, safety, safeness, go forward but go slow because you are protected, and being safe is more important than going forward and just arrive and born in the process. And the sun in Capricorn is the structure, is the hierarchy, is the rules, is how structured are the ways, how we do or process different things in life. This opposition is very interesting, it's super nice because for one side you see the sun, that is the patriarchy, structured in Capricorn, that is the old ruler, the old ways, the old manners. And for the other side you see Cancer, the family, the history of our family. In this moment in the moon, that is against the patriarchy, is the femininity, is the goddess, is the empowerment of women in society. And these are against each other in this moment. You have the sun in the sign of Capricorn, you have the moon in Cancer. Every time that we have the moon in Cancer is very emotional. Cancer is everything about emotion, just like Scorpio is about sexuality, about different parts of health in our body. Cancer, contrary to Scorpio, is more inner space. It's about how I honor myself, how I honor my feelings and the way how I feel. How sometimes I put myself away when someone else is giving me some information, and these people is, I am in this struggle now, but I decide to help you with your struggle because I'm not honoring who I am. That's Cancer speaking. Cancer trying to protect everyone around, even when Cancer is not safe. And this is the moment, the season. Cancer is always overwhelming about feelings. And now in this moment we have, this full moon in Cancer is very emotional. Always that we have some moon in Cancer, in wherever is the face, is very emotional. But full moon in Cancer is strongly emotional. So for the next days, 2-3 days before the full moon, and 2-3 days after, you will feel a little overwhelmed about some kind of feelings. Try to sit down, don't ignore this feeling, because these feelings that make you feel overwhelmed are the feelings in which you really need to work for the rest of the year. Remember, new moon is the process where we sow our intentions. We put our intentions in the air, we put some water in there, some work in there, and this is growing. And in the full moon, these intentions that we saw before finally grow, finally born, finally manifest. Full moon is a closing time, so try to check, because if we have the full moon now, it's because we had in the past a new moon in Cancer 6 months ago. Sit down for a moment, breathe very deep, and try to reanalyze where you was and what you was doing 6 months ago when that new moon happens. Probably June, July, August. What was you doing? How was you feeling? How evolved was your personal process in that moment? I was doing this, I was living in there, I was doing this job, I was starting this project. Perfect. Now, all of these elements, where are now? Where are you feeling? How are you feeling? I feel more loved than before. So make this very funny exercise. It's super fun. I feel love. In which part of your body you feel love? I don't know. It's like when you go to a school. I remember I have this teacher in psychology that when you say every morning, I feel good, in which parts of your body you feel good? And there was like, I feel good in general. And she says, but you feel all good in general in all your body. Where do you can locate the good feeling? And I was sometimes like, I feel good here, like over my right shoulder for some reason. I feel this side like worse than this. I don't know, it's very strange. and she was a psychologist, and she says that's good because you are recognizing in which parts of your body you are feeling the good, and in which parts of your body you are not feeling so good. So those parts of your body are representing something about your life. So try to process that, try to sit down, shut your mouth, shut your ego, just sit down, just breathe very deep. Take your time because you are worthy of your time. Just sit down, breathe very deep, and try to recognize, okay, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling well, I'm not feeling so well. I'm feeling between 1 to 10, I'm feeling 100, maybe I'm feeling 0, maybe I'm feeling below to 0. That happens, and that's very valid because it's a very emotional moment. It's full moon in Cancer, it's super emotional. Also, we have in this moment Mercury Retrograde. Mercury Retrograde starts literally today, Friday, that I am recording the video. So it's Monday to Sunday, to Saturday to Friday. It's 3 days before the full moon. So Mercury Retrograde. Mercury is located in this moment in Aquarius. Mercury, communications, language, or personal skill to communicate with someone else. Mercury is everything about how I receive the information, how I send the information. I mean, this piece of paper is the information. This information is the wisdom, the advice, the gossip of the moment in my work, is the piece of advice that someone in my family give me. This is the information. This piece of paper is just information, and someone give this information to me. So in this moment I have the information. What I choose to do with this information. I can share this information with someone else. I can keep the information for myself. I can even, in ways of lies and gossip, I can break the information, or I can transform the information in something else. The information is mine in this moment. That's Mercury. It's how we manage the communication, the information that we receive and we give. I receive this information complete, and someone else comes to me and asks me, what was the information that you received? The gossip, the lie, the news or in the newspaper, the advice that someone gave me, and this person now is asking me for the same advice. And I just give you a little bit of the information. And I keep the rest of the information for me. That's Mercury. It's everything related with the aspect of information in our lives. How I receive the information, what I do with the information, how I share the information. I send this information in a vocal way, via message text, via social media, via pictures, videos, how I'm using this information. Also, that's Mercury, right? It's everything about communications, information. I overwhelm you with all of this information. Mercury is located in Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of revolution, change, going forward, very Cancer. And Aquarius is liberty, is freedom. If you can't in some way like associate any feeling with Aquarius, try to look for pictures about the Statue of Liberty in New York. See the statue in the middle of the river, just standing in there, giving inspiration and giving power, empowering others. That's exactly like Aquarius feels. It's that aspect. And Mercury is in Aquarius. Remember, we are with the Sun in Capricorn. In this means that in some weeks, probably like 7 or 8 days, we are moving to the Sun in Aquarius. The season Aquarius is becoming very, 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 very soon. So we have Mercury, communications, again, in Aquarius. Revolution, change, how I move forward in life, how I change things in my life, in my benefit and in benefit of others. That's Aquarius. That is ruled by Uranus. That is the same. It's how forward you can go in life. Mercury in Aquarius in process of retrograde. Retrograde is not bad. It's never bad. Retrograde is what happens when a planet is just stopping by for a moment and decide to move a little more slow. At least I decide to move slower, and for that reason, because I decide to move slower, I made you check double, triple, and 4 times everything. Venus is retrograde. Let me recheck my personal relationships. Jupiter is retrograde. Let me recheck my inversions, my money, my enterprise, my factory, my employees. Saturn is retrograde. Let me recheck my karma. What is happening in my life in this moment? How I'm feeling the energy moving around? I'm feeling the energy like low, or I'm feeling like the energy is really moving forward like a wave in the ocean. That's Saturn retrograde. So Mercury, communications and information, is retrograde, right? This means that I need to recheck how I'm taking the information, how I'm giving the information, how I'm transforming all the information that I receive. Oh, you give me this piece of advice? Thank you. I decide, like I gave you for the example with the paper. I decide what I do with this information. You give me the advice, I choose if I give this advice to someone else or I just keep it for myself. That's Mercury. That's everything about communications and about information. The process of retrograde means that your brain is trying to move forward in a moment that the time is just stopping by. Don't care how much you try to run, the time is just stopping there. So you need to recheck your language, your manners, the way how do you communicate with others. Because everything that you say during Mercury retrograde usually takes in a very bad way for someone else. You say to someone else in the work, oh, try to rush up a little bit about this, and the person go immediately with the other employee and say, oh, you can't believe this guy? He just told me now that I need to rush in my work. And you're just really saying in a very good moment, in a very good mode, but the other person interpret the information in a bad way. Because we need to recheck the ways how we send the information, how we receive the information, how we turn and transform the information, but also how others receive the information. You give me a gift and I say thank you. For you, because you don't know that Mercury is retrograding in this moment in Aquarius, you just catch this information in a very bad way and you say, oh, you can't believe this person? I give him this amazing gift and he just say thank you. He just don't say anything else. I mean, he don't decide to take a picture with the gift. He don't share with others which was the gift. People give bad interpretations to things because Mercury, that is the communicator, is retrograding, so people catch the information in a very terrible, bad way. So, if you need to see all of these examples, remember the video will be on YouTube later. I'm just pre-recording here. So we have the full moon, we have Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. Remember, Mercury, communication, how we send information, how we receive the information. In Aquarius, revolution, change, everything that made me move forward in life. Retrograde, this means that I need to recheck all of these aspects of myself about communication and how I'm giving this information to someone else, how I am communicating with someone else. Full moon will be the next Monday, probably the same day that you are watching the video. Full moon in the sign of Cancer. Cancer positioned in the moon, that is the ruler of Cancer. So it's a lot of emotional aspects in there. But also, it's this Cancer full moon that is very, very emotional. Remember what I said to you before. Astrology is also about, a lot about astronomy that we usually forget or just put aside. The sign of Cancer have 83 stars, but also the constellation of Cancer have 5 principal main stars. These 5 stars represent the different 5 aspects of Cancer in history, and in each aspect of this sign, he evolved in the myth, turning in someone else. For the Egyptians, he was a scarab. For Mesopotamians and Akkadians, was a turtle. For Babylonians, was some kind of turtle monster, bigger for them. For Greeks, this was a very big crab, a monster crab. It was a monster, a crab of the so big as a house. When Italians take the meat, they just turn it in, oh, was just a little crab that bite Hercules in the feet, and Hercules just stand up over him and just kill him, just so fast like that. But we forget, we ignore the fact that Cancer continue being a crab, continue being a turtle, continue being a scarab. It's in every aspect of the myth, of the mythology about Cancer. In every aspect, is a creature that is overprotected, is overwhelmed. I'm moving forward, but I choose to move safe. I choose to move with my shield over me, because remember, Cancer is family. Cancer is home. Is I'm moving forward, but it's not the physical place. It's not the walls, it's not the doors, it's not the floor. Cancer is my inner home, how I feel in other places, how I'm feeling in this place. I made this place my home. I go to the streets, I walk around, people look at me very comfortable because I feel that I am in my home. That's Cancer. It's not the physical home. It's how you feel and how you make feel others around, how you make you feel yourself if you are in home. Remember, the crab, it is creature that has his shield. He has his home over him. He born with his home around. So he can move around the world and he continues having his home over him. The turtle that was for the crab for Mesopotamians, the same. He has all of his shield, his home with him. The scarab for Egyptians was the same. It's the same sign, the same constellation that we are watching for the last 7,000 years. And in every myth, we just discover a new star in there and we adapt to a different creature. Oh, I see this with this constellation that is just a little star with some other stars around. It's a scarab. 2,000 years later, Babylonians comes, or Akkadians, and Akkadians say, oh, it's not a scarab, it's a turtle. And they discover a second star. 20,300 years later, come the Greeks, Epsilon, that was this amazing astronomer in the age, an alchemist, a very good philosopher. He see the same constellation and he discovered a third star in there. So he said, oh, it's not a turtle. It's not even a scarab. It's a crab, but it's a monster crab. And the myth continues evolving, but always is the same creature. It's always the same message. It's going forward, work in your inner home. It's not the place where you are. It's how you make feel safe around you. It's the moment when you are with your friends, with your coven, with your family, with your people in the world, and you sit down in a place and people around you are like, I feel safe or I don't feel safe. That's Cancer. That's very Cancerian. It's about that. If you need more information about Cancer and about the moon, you know the book I will recommend you because I recommend it every month is The Art Cosmic by Levi Rowland, because in traditional astrology is the most amazing book that we have, and also most of the books that we have in astrology now are modern astrology. If you don't understand traditional astrology, don't care how much you try, you don't go to understand in any possible way modern astrology. Because to understand modern astrology without this, without the base, without the column, you will end watching and pre-recording all the videos of Instagram and YouTube that other people does with that information because you don't have the information. You need to start from zero, and from the step 1, you go step 2, step 3, modern astrology. You can just jump the first 5 or 6 steps. You need to go forward for the traditional. Levi Rowland in the book add for you not just the spellcasting, but also he has all the information that you need about stars, about planets, everything that you need to do about astrology. Everything is in there. So we have the next week. This paper was actually my notes. Full moon day, Monday, Cancer full moon in Cancer, it's emotional trigger, I told you that, Mercury Retrograde, blah, 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 blah. I think I don't have anything else to tell you in this moment. Okay, the 5 stars of Cancer, in case that you need to know the names, are Alpha Cancri, Betta Cancri, Gama Cancri, Delta Cancri, Iota Cancri. It's the same Greek letters. Those are the names of the 5 Cancri. The 5 Cancris are the 5 main stars of the constellation of Cancer. Not the zodiacal sign, the constellation, the star that is made with 83 stars and has 5 principal stars. When you understand the myth of each one of these stars, each one of them was discovered in a different moment of time and history, and each one of them represents a different myth associated with Cancer in a different culture. Mesopotamians, Akkadians, Egyptians, Greeks, and Italians. And we just continue evolving with the myth. In the next 300 or 400 years, someone else will discover probably a 6th star in there and will say, oh, Cancer is not a crab, it's another different, completely different creature. And the myth will continue evolving like everything in astrology, will continue evolving like everything in humanity. But you need to start from traditional astrology. So we have all the information about Cancer full moon. It's the next full moon day. And also we have information about Mercury Retrograde. Mercury is in Aquarius, remember, it's revolution. Cancer is revolution, is change, is moving forward. If you don't understand how precautious is Aquarius about moving forward, remember, 2022, we started a year with Uranus retrograde. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. Start all of this COVID situation. Aquarius is revolution, and Uranus is change, is revolution, is moving forward. Okay, if you don't want to move forward like humanity, I will create all kinds of horrible scenarios to make you work together, to make you turn stronger, to make you feel and work like you are a whole one race. Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, COVID happens, all of these organizations are all trying to work together to try to do something because we are dying like population. All of that is the message of Uranus retrograde. That was 2022. 2021 happens the same. 2022, we're starting the year, like every year, Sun in Capricorn, full moon in Cancer, but also we have Mercury in Aquarius. It's the message about communication. Is also all of this news, all of this information that you get from outside, from newspaper, magazines, social media, TV shows, TV about news, how I turn all of this information. I take this information from the news, how I use this information, how I give this information to someone else. I catch in the news, 100 people die in this country, I don't go to say names, in this country yesterday for this sickness. So I take that information and I say to my friends, a bunch of people died yesterday in some kind of very poor country, I don't know, in South America. And this friend of mine go to repeat the same to another friend. This friend of mine told me yesterday that exactly in that country, a bunch of people died very, very sick days ago. You shouldn't be traveling to there. And we continue turning this little bit of information in a very big gossip. And we turn everything worst that actually is. Yes, the fact is 100 people die, but we turn it in something totally worse. That's Mercury, is the communication. That's Aquarius, is the revolution. Because a revolution can be for good, but a revolution also can be for bad. So it's how I'm taking all of this information, how I'm working with my communication skills. So it's a very good moment to sit down and work with myself, how I'm transmitting information to others, how I'm making feel others, how people feel safe with me. People is feeling safe around me, or people is feeling like they can communicate with me. I sit down in a place and people feel like, I can talk about this with Elohim because he will turn very mad if I say this to him. Or people feel safe with me that they can sit down with me and say, Elohim, I don't like or enjoy this part of you. People feel that level of safe or not. That continues with Mercury. It's all the aspects of communication. Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, in traditional, and I think that also in modern astrology. Virgo is one of the signs that has more complications to communicate with others. If you don't push Virgo, they don't go to talk. Never. They don't go to write. They need that you push them. You need to take information from them. You really love me or you hate me. You feel something. Are you a human? That is a common communication with Virgo. They have skills with communication. They can be very good when they start to be social people, but you need to push a lot about that. If you need to work more on this, you can draw the symbol of Mercury, that is a circle with a new moon or a crescent moon over him, and this cross in below is a cross, is a circle, is a crescent moon. The the symbol of Mercury represents Hermes, the Greek god, or Mercury, the Italian god, is the shield, the thing that he has over his head, I don't remember how it's called, represent the little flies that he has in his feet, because he's always flying, because he's the messenger. That's the symbol of Mercury. Try to meditate with that symbol. Try to sit down and just, this is the symbol of Mercury. Let me see which is the message of Mercury for me. Let me just take this card, put in there, and just meditate about it. Let me see if I catch something different in the circle. Let me try to reanalyze why have a crescent moon over the head. Why Mercury, if it's a god, need to fly from one place to another to bring the information to Zeus in the Olympus. Why these things are happening? When you're starting to meditate about simple things, you are able to understand the most difficult, complicated things in magic and witchcraft, sorcery, astrology in your life. But you need to start from zero, from the very basic. This is the whole video. You probably will see the video complete in my YouTube channel later. Thank you all. Stay safe, stay well, be wild, and be kind with everyone else. Sometimes people act like they don't deserve your kindness. It's exactly that moment when they most deserve it, because they are very traumatized people and you need to be kind. If you don't change them, if you don't show a change to them, they will continue being toxic people. So continue being you, continue being awesome, continue being kind, continue being yourself, whatever happens. Love to everyone. Bye.